Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews, and we're back with more of The Man in the High Castle Season 3. We're up to Episode 6. It is called History Ends. So if you haven't seen the episode, there will be full spoilers from here on out. And I just want to start off right away with the end of this episode. How it was really great to show how the Reich is starting year zero and they're trying to kill history. At the same time, we've got the scene with Frank and Frank Sampson and all the other Jewish people talking about tradition and how it's carrying on. So you've got one group that's trying to kill history, kill everything that isn't them and their vision of things, and how people are still struggling to keep to their traditions, keep to what keeps them going and alive. And I thought that was a really well done scene. The whole thing with Himmler telling the Fuhrer, you know, hey man, I just was a failing chicken farmer, and then I met him. It's like, ugh. I don't know, man. That's creepy and dark. Like, this is what you were thinking about? Is it like, this is, you know, you went from being a chicken farmer to being someone who's responsible for just millions of people dying. Because all those guys are, you know. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Does that mean that, like, you know, what I do for a living, I started out this, do I ever think that I could be responsible for the death of millions of people if somehow fate threw me that, you know, threw me into some sort of crazy circumstances like this guy? Like, I just don't think I could make that leap. I mean, wow. That's a pretty big leap. We also get when Frank Sampson sees Ed and Bob at the bar, and, you know, tells Ed that Frank's still alive. It was a nice reunion for Frank and Ed. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a flashback of Frank's survival of the bomb blast, because that was I would really like to know that, because dude's messed up. Like, that whole side of his body is just crazy. We got, well, they know, you know, like, this is also like the backlash, not the backlash, but like the after effects of finding out that Joe Blake is dead. The Kemputai now know that this dude was a spy. He wasn't there to be no trade attaché. He was there to take out people on their list, and one of them was Tagomi. The fact that how all of a sudden I can't say his name. Inspector what the hell? You know what I'm talking about. I mean, he pretty much knows it's Juliana Crane. One of the things I love about that character is, like, everything that comes out of his mouth sounds bad. He could be like, I would like to have some toast. You know, like anything. You know, like, this beer is delicious. It just sounds like he's saying, you know, like he's about to kill you, no matter what he says. You know, just the sun is shining bright today. I like that Tagomi's basically, you know, and stands up to him too. Like, hey man, what are you going to do? Because clearly all these files say Kemputai. So that means they got a rat in the midst. I wonder who that could be. The guy I said was probably going to be a traitor. If he had one choice, okay, he had two choices, and both of them really turned out to be true. Or at least at this point it looks like it, because they cut away, so we'll find out more. But the guy who wanted to be his sergeant, his replacement for the last guy who got blown the fuck up, I said he was either going to be a traitor or he was going to try to do something really crazy to prove that he wasn't. And so it turns out that it's both, because he did try to get the priest guy and had everybody blow up. So that was a pretty big thing to try to get done. And then you find out that he's probably the traitor, unless that's just too easy. But I don't know who else it would be. Like, you can't, if it turns out to just be some mail clerk, you know, very, like, uneventful, like, oh, it's just some dude. You know, otherwise, I don't really know who it would be. It has to be somebody in the Kemputai. So, and since there's not a lot of people on this show that don't have, you know, to pick from, is what I'm saying. The whole thing with Juliana and Wyatt their growing relationship as far as characters. I really like Jason O'Mara. The whole scene where they take down the 2 Japanese soldiers was, just kind of there. A lot of stuff in this episode was just kind of happening. This is like that middle of the road episode. I thought it was going to be bigger. I thought there was going to be more going on, and there's a lot going on. It's just, it's filler. It's what we're building up to more stuff. Because she's trying to get a hold of the man in the high castle, which, everybody says is Abinson. I'm starting to think that it's just a bunch of people, that he's the one that everybody brings the films to. And I think all the people that in other worlds, they've got their own man in the high castle, possibly. One cool thing about this episode is Smith getting to see firsthand what a traveler is, what it does. I mean, he's already seen that girl once, but they were bringing her out of a coma to find out, get some information from her. And I feel really dumb because I didn't catch the name of the doctor being Dr. Mengele. I should have guessed that right away from the last episode that's who that was. Who else? They're all Nazis having somebody strapped to a table and doing experiments on them. I would figure that'd be any of them because they're all pieces of shit. So it just kind of got past me that was Mengele. Makes a lot of sense because I just had never heard his name mentioned before in this. But yeah, he gets to see her before she can't answer any of his questions. And he's being nice, but I mean, he's just, I think he's walking that line of, he doesn't want to, it's a fragile situation. Otherwise, he'd probably be putting the screws to her. But when he sees her disappear, that look on his face, and Mengele just treats it like it's another day. Like, oh, Tuesday. It's a Tuesday today, I guess. Oh, she disappeared. He just looks like bummer. The Himmler finding out that Joe's dead and that, now everybody knows. Like, a lot of people have their cards on the table. Like, the Japanese know what Joseph was doing. So, and the Nazis know that the Japanese know. And Himmler sends his, one of his newest, Aryan, white motherfuckers to come kill Tagomi. And so that's going to be interesting. Frank asking about Juliana was a no-brainer. I hope that we see more of Bob. I think from the trailer it sounds like we do get more of Bob. I don't know to what extent. When Juliana met up with Lem, I thought, man, are we just going to get another scene where they try to kill her? Like when they went into the record store to find Evanson, I have expected the old lady and Lem to try to kill her. Just like old times. Like, I was going, man, please don't tell me they're going to try to kill her again. Because Lem is already, as soon as he saw her, he's like, it's you? You're the one that's looking for me? So, I don't know. Really, that's about it. I mean, Smith telling his wife that, it's really important, that you have happy days, because he's trying not to tell her that you're probably going to get killed if you can't keep it together. Hoover talking to Inspector, why I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Them having that little tete-a-tete was a little interesting as well. Again, all this whole episode was kind of underwhelming. It was fine. I was never bored. I liked it. But it was just kind of okay. Except for this kind of end right here, where it was just kind of this big symbolic thing. I thought we were going to get something else, but we didn't. So that's all I really have to say about this episode. So if you liked it, not that there's much, I'm just recapping it. I did try to give some opinions on it, but it's I was psyched to get to this episode, and now that I got into it, it's kind of oh, all right. So anyway, we will be back with more of the Man in the High Castle, episode 7. I don't know if we're going to make it tonight or tomorrow. It'll be definitely tomorrow, if not tonight. So this is Rob from Smirking Gun Review saying we will see you on the next one. So take it easy. Bye.